Okay. So means using the Tableau, you are giving the client also the user access where whatever the state or whatever the country sales he want to see, he himself can see that without your intervention again into that particular report. Let's say like if you are presenting in a PPT one particular state sales. So what the client will do, like I want to see the sales of this particular state also. Then client has to come back to you. Then again you have to work and you have to send that back again to the client. It's like a two-way process, keeps going like this. But whereas using the Tableau, if you generate any report to the client, where the client also can access to that particular report and he can change whatever the state sales he want or whatever the country sales he want, he himself can do without additional, without any additional help from your side. Again, sending that to you, sending it back to him. Okay.
Okay.
And so we'll see in detail now. So can you see this is the Tableau? Can you see my window?
Yes, I can see the window. Yeah.
So when you install this Tableau on your desktop, so with this icon it will get installed. So just open the Tableau. Now, and even if you see in the market, the Tableau, so it just started some 2-3 years back only, this Tableau. It's in huge demand now, the Tableau. Mainly most of the companies now are moving into the Tableau, There are so many tools in the market available, but most of the companies now are moving into the Tableau. Why? For better dashboards, for better visualization analysis they can do with this thing. And the drag and drop. First of all, this is a drag and drop. It's a graphical user interface, this Tableau software. This is a drag and drop, and it's very simple. The drag and drop is also. And there are other tools in the market. Even if you want to prepare one dashboard, you need to do a lot of work to prepare to the dashboard. But whereas in the Tableau, it's very simple. It's not as complicated as the other tools in the markets. Okay. Mainly for dashboard creation. The end object of this particular Tableau, what we present to the client is in the form of a dashboards. We'll present this in the form of a dashboards to the client here, and he is going to the end user and he is going to change his analysis. If you want to see, as I said, like if you want to see the sales for the different states or the different countries, he himself can do that thing here with whatever the dashboard will present here to the client. Okay. So
can you?
And the options.
You
yes.
Want to give some intro about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so myself, Naveen, and I have 8 years of industry experience, and on the Tableau, as is in launched a very 2-3 years back. So I'm working on this Tableau for the last 2 years on this, and I have worked on several projects as well on this Tableau. And mainly, as I said, like we'll get the how the work goes actually is like that actually we have to see at the end, because you don't know like what is the in and out of this thing. So I should not tell now, so it gives a confusion to you. Okay, so I worked on the several projects, and the output of this for each and every project is like I used to present the dashboard in a server, and that particular link will be shared by me to the client, and he'll be accessing that particular reports. Okay.
Okay. And currently you are doing this instructor thing as a full-time or like a side task? Like
it's like a side. I'm doing this thing.
Okay. You're working there now?
Yeah, I'm working in a top MNC company.
Okay.
So, Amit, shall we go ahead?
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now, so what I did is, now I just clicked on the Tableau icon. Once you get installed it, so you just click on this Tableau icon. Now, so when it opened here, you can see the data connected to data, and these are the saved data sources. Means whenever you install the Tableau, by default within the Tableau there are some data sets. There are some data being stored. okay, within the Tableau when you installed, okay. And these are the sample workbooks where we can create. You just put some sample workbooks where we can create all these things.
Yep.
Now, so when you open this, when you click on this Tableau, so first of all we have to connect to the data. The first and foremost thing, we need to connect to the data here. Okay. So click on connect to data. Now, when you click on the connect to data, like the beauty of the Tableau is we can import any data from any database or from any flat files into the Tableau for visual representation. Okay, so what files, either it may be the text file or the Excel file or the Access file, if the data is, let's say, in the Excel file or the text file, or if the data is located somewhere in any of the particular servers or the databases, okay, even though we can bring the data from that environment or from that database or from that server, we can bring the data into the Tableau. Into the Tableau we can bring it. Now, so if you see this a Microsoft Excel text file, and on a server, like we have so many things like Amazon, Astra, IBM Cloud, IBM Netizen, and MySQL, Oracle, okay, and Salesforce, SAP. From any of the SAP database also you can bring, even from the Teradata, all these things. From any of the database we can bring the data from that environment into that Tableau here.
So for for our training things, which data sources you will be trying to connect in our course?
Oh, no. So we'll be connecting to the Microsoft Excel, okay, for training, because like we don't have any access to these particular databases. But now what I'm going to show you is like if you click on any of the particular database, how to connect to that particular database, we'll see in detail, okay?
So only we'll be connecting to Excel only?
We will be connecting to the Excel because we don't have access to any of these particular databases. If we are working in the real time, so where they will be working on a databases, like they might be using the Oracle or they might be using the Teradata. Okay, so this particular thing, you have to keep only one thing in mind. This is only for bringing the data only. We are not going to do anything from any of the database. Only from that database we are trying to get the data only. Once we get that data into the Tableau, the process, everything is the same. Whether you get that from the Oracle database, or whether you get from the Teradata database, or whether you get from the SAP database, or whether you get from the Microsoft Excel, whatever it is, this is just to bring the data only. Okay, once the data comes into the Tableau, and the process remains the same. The process remains the same even if you get from the Excel or even if you get from the Teradata, the process remains the same one.
Yeah, but you could have the SQL server installed in a local machine. That's pretty much
yeah. So
software.
Yeah. So right, we can do that thing. Okay. So now I'll just show you like how to get connect to that. Any of the databases. Okay, so and the connectivity always like let's say example like the Teradata is there. Okay, so you can click on any of these particular databases, and just as an example I'm taking this Teradata. When you click on this Teradata, the process remains the same for connection purpose. Okay, enter a server name, to which server you want to connect it. So the IP address of that particular server name you have to enter. If you are working on any project in the environment in the company, so that from the client side you will get the server name, you will get the username and the password for that. So with that server name, by using the user ID and the password generated by the client, will be connecting to any of the database. Let's say the server name we will enter here, and authentication. As I clicked on the Teradata, So the authentication should be the Teradata database, and the username to connect to the Teradata database, and the password to get connected to the Teradata database. These things will get from the client side, the server name, the username, and the password. Okay, whatever the database you are working, that database server name, the username, and the password you will get from that respective client side. And then after that, third step, if you see, the establish the connection, then we'll click on the connect here. When you click on the connect, the step 4, step 5, and the step 6 will get activated when you click on the connect here. And in the step 4, select a database on the server. So in a server, like, there will be several databases, and among those, to which particular database you want to connect. So here there is a search button is there. If you click on this, it will show all the databases, and you can choose to which database you want to connect here, and select that particular database name. And when you select that particular database name, it will show like a select a table or view from the database. Okay, so whenever you are connecting to Teradata, this thing, the terminology, they will call it as the view. So there are where we can create a views or where we can create a table. View is nothing but a structure of it. It will not hold any data. It just holds the structure of the particular result. Whereas a table means along with the structure, we'll be having the data also here. So means either you can get the table or the view from this particular database which you have selected in the step 4. Once you have selected that thing, in the step 6, give the connection name for use in Tableau. We'll give a particular name, a connectivity name, because we are getting from the Teradata database into the Tableau. For that, if you want to give any name for this, the connectivity name will give in the step 6. The connectivity name will give in the step 6. So like this, there are the several steps are there before connecting to that particular database. Means to which server you want to connect, and to connect to that thing, the user ID and the password is required. Once you connect, once you give these credentials, the username and the password, it will ask like in that server to which database you want to connect. Once you click on that particular database, in that database, which table you want to bring. In that database, again, there will be several tables are there. Which table you want to bring into the Tableau. So all these things we will select first, and we'll select all those things, and then we'll click on the OK. We'll click on the OK. So we'll see like when you click on the OK, what page will you open, that we'll see now. Okay. It is similar, the same. Whatever the, even if you open the Microsoft Excel also, the same page will open. Even if you connect to the Teradata after giving all those credentials and by clicking on the OK, that same page will open here. Okay. So we'll see now just by clicking on the Microsoft Excel. Now, when you click on this Microsoft Excel, which data you want to bring into the Tableau. So where it is located, if it is located on the desktop, or if any of the shared drive, if you have saved that Excel, so we can just click on that particular location where the Excel is saved, and we'll click on this. So now in the desktop, like now I have the Tableau and the Tableau data, and I'm bringing this information like samples, superstore data, sample, superstore, sales data here. Okay. And just click on the OK. So select the Excel which you want to bring into the Tableau, select it, and click the OK button. Click open here. Now, this window will open even if you connect to the Teradata, giving all the credentials, and when you click on the OK, this particular table only will open. This particular table will open here. Okay. Yeah. So Amit, are you following, or any questions?
Yeah, so this is a desktop version, right?
Right, Tableau desktop.
So can you also go over the course content and the format, how we will be going through the other sessions a little bit?
Okay. I'm just opening that the content of that. Okay. So first, the introduction and overview of the Tableau. Okay.
Okay.
And getting started, how to get started, and as we are seeing now, like this, how to get connected to this particular data, and after connecting to the data, what we'll do. And in this, like there are several tabs are there once you log into this Tableau. So we are going to discuss all those things. What is the dimensions, measures, and how to build the views. What is the meaning of the shelf? So all these things we'll look into this. And after this, like when connecting to the, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Amit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So once we get connected to this thing, like where we can import multiple tables also into the Tableau. Once you import multiple tables, how to combine those two tables if you want to merge it. Okay. So those concepts we will see here, the merging concepts. And analysis wise, like we're going to see the dates, the page styles, what is the heat map, how to generate all these maps, the density charts, the plots, how to create a multiple tables here. Okay, the size and transparency, the filters. Okay, so the aggregation data.
Okay.
Yes, I mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, and next analyzing, like so how to create a cross tabs, how to create a totals, subtotals, the filters, the drill down. Okay, so how to calculate the percentage of total, how to sort the data, how to group the data, how to create a sets, how to create a calculated fields, what is the use of the calculated fields. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the use of the calculated fields? Working with the different tables. Okay, working with the different functions. Okay, working with the different parameters, how to create a parameter, what is the use of the parameter, how to use that parameter, and the formattings, how to do the formattings here, and how to create the interactive dashboards. Okay, so once the dashboard is prepared, how we'll publish, in how many ways we can publish that thing. Okay. And apart from this, we are also going to see the different charts, like the waterfall charts, the Pareto record charts, the bubble charts, the pie charts, the maps, the US map, okay, the dual axis charts. Okay, so a lot we are going to cover. Apart from this, there are lots and lots of maps where we use, depends on the requirement. In the real time, we'll be using the different maps as well. So we are going to cover all those things.
Okay. All right. So and then.
Okay. And now we are going to see like yes, Amit, any questions?
And this is already covering.
Yes.
I don't see any thing related to the Tableau server and the installation and configuration of that Tableau server.
So here, publish the tab to Tableau server. So once the dashboard is ready, so how we'll publish that in the server? So these things we are going to see in the server.
In the server configuration and setup, installation, all that is not.
Means how to install the Tableau, you mean?
Yeah, the Tableau server, configuring the server and maintaining, managing the Tableau server.
Amit, every software has the admin as well as the development team will be there. The one who is working on the development, he will not work on the admin part. The duty of the admin is installing, configuration, all these things will be taken care by the admin. Okay, not by the developer. Any software if you take, okay, so the admin part is the different. So here we are not going to see how to install that, how to configure that. As a developer, that's not my responsibility to do all these things. From the client side, they have their own admin for this particular Tableau server, and he will be responsible for that. Not only for the Tableau, if you take any software in the market, they have the admin, separate department will be there, development department will be there, programmer department will be there, analytical division separately will be there. Not one person will handle everything. I think you know that much better as you are from last 10 to 12 years in the industry. You know the admin part will not be taken care by the developer. Isn't it?
I was kind of looking for both the installation maintenance of the Tableau server as well as these creating these Tableau dashboards.
Okay, so see, even here, anywhere like
and
the one who is working on the developer
company,
as you said, like
some companies
have
only one resource who maintains the Tableau server as well as maintains those.
Okay.
If there is not many resources in the company, then if it's a smaller shop, they don't have that flexibility of adding more people.
Okay. 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 Okay.
So this is basically everything is a desktop-based Tableau, I guess. That's
right.
Like do that 30-day trial period. Tableau desktop, you install it in your local machine and try out all the visualizations. So
this is the one second. So this is the major portion. Even if you are working as a programmer or a developer on the Tableau, we'll do the same thing here. Either in the companies we use the Tableau desktop, and for you you can download the Tableau public is there, the Tableau server is there here, okay? And even in our organization they don't have the Tableau server, okay? So we will publish that in the server here, that will be in the client side, okay? So while for practicing, for understanding all these concepts, the Tableau desktop is more than enough. The Tableau desktop and the Tableau public. So even if you take any sample data, you prepare some dashboard and you can publish that in the Tableau public, which will be access to everyone. Those who have the internet access, that particular dashboard can be viewed by anyone. But whereas the Tableau server, why? That is so confidential. So whatever the dashboard you prepare for that particular organization, whatever the information the dashboard has, that is a confidential information. So what we'll do here, that particular report will publish that in the Tableau server here. So that's only the client with those particular credentials, only those persons can access to that particular dashboard. So like this, Tableau launches its different products like the desktop, public, and the Tableau server and the Tableau professional, different terms here, okay? But most of the companies, they use only the Tableau desktop, because in that only we do everything and publish the dashboard in the server here.
Yeah, but how would you, if it is only in desktop, you are limited to only those users who have the Tableau desktop licenses, right? So,
right, see, when the client is giving the work to you, the licenses to you, client also has his license, isn't it? Client also has a license to access to this Tableau desktop as well as the Tableau server. And whatever the work you do in the organization, you will send that report to the client only, but not to anyone, not to your friend or not to anyone, will not send this thing. So whoever has the Tableau desktop from the client side also, they have the Tableau desktop as well as the Tableau server access.
Yeah, so if we have created some dashboard in the Tableau desktop, and we have to showcase that dashboards to, let's say, 50 other users,
right?
How would you accomplish that?
Right. So we can publish to n number of persons here. As I said, like, so when you connect to this thing, I'll quickly show you. So this is the Tableau main icon. As we asked that, I just logged into here directly. So on the top, can you see the server here?
Yes.
In the server, first we'll click on the sign in and we'll give the password. So that also will be shared by the client. When you click on the sign in, this publish workbook is there. Can you see this publish workbook?
Yeah.
And we need to click on this. When you click on the sign in, enter your password and again come back to the server and click on the publish workbook. Then it will ask to which users you want to share this workbook and what access you want to give, whether you want to give the read access or the write access to that particular person. Even we can select that thing. To this particular, I want to send this report to 10 persons. Of this 10 persons, I have to give the read and write access to 5 persons and only read access to 5 persons. So I can select for which person I have to give what access. I want to give only read access. Sorry?
One question is, if I have to give the read access to 50 other users, does it mean that all those 50 users should have the licensing to read that Tableau report?
Yes.
So it could be like in a bank, all those 50 users may not have the license to read that dashboard, to access that. So it's like it's different from, looks like it's different from something like SharePoint, where SharePoint kind of reporting, you just give security rights to any kind of user who is only, you need that domain ID of that user, and the user can access any of the content in SharePoint. But looks like this is
right.
This is different, working different, right? So every
one second.
So that report to 1,000 users, but those 1,000 users do not have licensing.
Not required. Not required. So once you are publishing the dashboard in the server like this by publish workbook, and when you are loading this into the server, it will give the link. Okay, so what you have to do, if you want to show this report to 1,000 people or the 10,000 people, you will simply copy that link and will send that link to those 10,000 people. Even if you don't have the Tableau desktop or Tableau license, simply by click on that particular link, you can view the results. You can view the dashboard results. Clear?
Okay, so the server will be hosting like how is that hosted? Is it like on a web server or something like that?
So there are several options are there. If you want, you can publish in the web, or if you want, you can copy the link and you can send that link to the client. Okay, or you can copy this particular dashboard into the PPT and you can present that in the form of a PPT to the client. There are several ways are there where we can present that to the client. Okay, so we can present that in the web, as well as we can copy that link and we can send that to the client as well. Both ways we can do.
PPT may not be good. It will not be interactive, right?
It's not interactive, but for some clients, like once the entire thing is done, that depends on the client, very client specific requirement. Okay, it's not like compulsory we will present the dashboard, the copy and paste that in the PPT and will present. That's very specific to the clients, because in the PPT, why I said is the PPT has some 20 to 25 slides. Of this, they want to just also show how that particular dashboard report has come. That as one of the slides they will present. Only for that purpose only we'll copy that and paste that in the PPT and we'll present. If not, either in the web or we'll copy the link and paste that and we'll send that to the client here.
Okay.
Okay.
So if
in this way, without a
web server, then all those other 1,000 users, they don't have to have the Tableau license to view that.
Sure, right.
Okay. And cost-wise, how you have any idea about the licensing of the product?
No, I'm not into the costing or I'm not into the management level. So all these things will be taken care by the vertical lead or the above level in the organizations. Okay, so they will not reveal also like how much they will spend for this revenue purpose and all. But it's not much costly, as I know the thing, but not sure of how what is the amount and what is the renewal amount for this particular software.
Obviously, I guess the server would cost more, right, than the desktop.
Right. Server will cost more. Server will cost more than the Tableau desktop.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think there is a lot of samples on the Tableau website. There are demos and videos on that, how to
Yeah,
create.
yeah. Yes, there are.
All right. Okay. So, and I have all the background in the dimensional modeling and all that, so we can go through those quickly later on whenever.
Okay.
We don't have to cover the basics of dimensional modeling and all that.
Okay, dimensions, measures, and all.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, so first we'll open. Okay, so you know by default Tableau splits all the characters into the dimensions and all the numerics into the measures based on the column names. Okay.
Yeah.
So first I'll open this particular data and I'll show you like how the data looks here.
So you are good in what kind of tool sets now? Tableau and other reporting tools, and what else, like Java also?
No, I'm very good at the Tableau and SAS.
Okay.
SAS, Statistical Analysis and System.
Yeah.
And hands-on on the Teradata as well.
Okay. SAS also, there's a lot of modules there, right?
Right, SAS is like the advanced base SAS. There are around 64 modules are there in the SAS.
Okay.
So now, so this is the data where I'm importing here into the Tableau. So samples, superstore, sales. Let's open this and see like how the data is. Okay. So this is how the data is like. Okay. So the row ID already, we have the date columns, we have the numeric columns as well as we have the character variables and we have the calendar variables. Okay, so there are a different set of variables are there in this. Okay.
Yep.
And this is the data we imported, which has the order date, priority, order quantity, sales, discount, ship mode, profit, shipping cost, all these things. Customer segment, product categories, product subcategory, and the product name, and the product based margin. So this is the data available here in this. Okay, and this Excel sheet I have imported that into the Tableau.
Okay.
Now, so I'll close this tab and open again because I just straight away move into this particular thing as you asked, like how to get connected to the server. So when you click on the connected to data, so you can connect to any of the file or to any of the database, and just click on the Excel and navigate to the location to which Excel sheet or to which particular file you want to import that into the Tableau. Okay, so navigate to that particular path and just select the file which you want to bring into the Tableau. Open, and now if you see in that Excel sheet, it has 3 tabs. First one is the orders tab, next one is the returns tab, and next one is the users tab. Of these tabs, which particular file you want to import into the Tableau? Okay, so we need to select that thing, which particular tab you want to bring into the Tableau, and click OK. And the beauty of the Tableau, another beauty is like. So we can connect through live, means without importing the data, the physical data into the Tableau, we can even connect live. Means if when the data is small, okay, we'll directly connect live to that particular Excel file or to that particular database, and we'll bring that information into the Tableau here. means either by directly connecting live from Tableau to that particular database, or directly from Tableau to that particular Excel or Access or the text file, whatever it is, we are connecting directly. So the use of this thing is, let's say if there is a transactional data. If there is a transactional data and every day in that particular location, in that particular file, every day few records are keep adding to that Excel sheet. Few records are keep adding to that particular Excel sheet. And in that case, if you connect live and you prepare all the sheets and you prepare the dashboard, everything. And so today there are 1,000 observations are there in that particular Excel sheet, and you connected through Connect Live and you prepared some maps, all these things, and finally you prepared the dashboard. Yep. Next day, another 200 records were added to that particular Excel sheet. That should be in the same location with the same name, okay? To that 1,000 records, another 200 records are added, 1,200 records. Again, in the Tableau, you no need to prepare a separate dashboard for that. In Tableau, what you have to do is just simply refresh the data. Automatically, for those 1,200 records, the dashboard will prepare now. Yep. Okay, you no need to do the whole process again when you connect through the Connect Live. That is the beauty of the Tableau, by connecting through the Connect Live. Okay, yep. And import all data means physically you are getting the data from that environment into that Tableau environment, and then you are working, preparing the dashboards and all. That means the 1,000 records Excel sheet, now we are bringing physically into the Tableau and working on it. Next day to the 1,000 means external file, to the 1,000 records, 200 records are added. But the one which you imported here, that has only the 1,000 records only. Means again you have to import the 1,200 records Excel sheet into the Tableau, and then you need to work on it. Yep. Okay, so when you have the huge data, means in millions and millions of records, will go for the import all data. Okay, that time also we can go for the Connect Live, but what it happens is that connectivity, preparing the dashboards will be a bit slow compared to the one which you click on the import all data. Okay, and import some data, like in the Excel, like as I said, like there are so many millions and millions of records of that. You want to import some data into the Tableau first, and you want to see how to present all these things. Once you are okay with that, then you can bring the whole data into the Tableau and you can proceed further here. Means instead of working on the population, I'm just take a sample of that particular population, I'll bring that into the Tableau and prepare the dashboard, and we'll see if that is okay, then I'll proceed with the population. So for that we'll just click on the import some data again. Okay. Yep. And when you click on the Connect Live, this is the Tableau desktop, or the Tableau workbook we call here. Tableau workbook we call here. Okay. Yep. And which has the dimensions, which has the measures, and these are all the numeric columns in the data, and these are all the character columns in the data, and each and everything will be represented with the different symbols. If you see, all the numeric columns will represent with the hash symbol. All the numeric columns will represent with the hash symbol, and those will present in the measures. By default, Tableau splits the data, character and the numeric sales. If it is a geographical variables, it will be shown with this particular globe symbol, this latitude, longitude, all these things. These are the geographical variables, and those will be represented with the globe symbol. Okay, and if it is a character variable, like the customer name, customer segment, these are all the character variables. And that is a text. As that is a text, it will be represented with ABC, represents which is the text here. And order date columns and all will be represented with this particular symbol, the calendar with a clock on it. There is a calendar variables, the date variables, or the time variables, whatever it is. Okay. And if you see now here,
so this came by
order ID. Sorry.
Fields came in by default. You didn't have to do anything.
Which one?
These fields, dimensions, and measures just came by default, I guess.
Right.
So in
general, by default. Go ahead.
the Tableau engine just assumed that those are the fields in the dimensions and the other ones are in the measures.
Right. Perfect. Perfect.
Can we switch these fields around? Is there a way to switch any of the measures into the dimensions?
That's what I'm going to do it now. Okay, so we can switch the columns from dimensions to measures and from measures to dimensions. Now if you see this, the order ID column, this is the hash, this is the numeric column. Row ID, this is also the numeric column. Means whatever the Tableau splits, we should not go with that only. It's not 100% split. Sometimes based on the columns, once it is splitted, we have to check it once whether it has been properly splitted or not. If you see the row ID, the order ID and the row ID, these actually should come under the measures, but it is showing in the dimensions here. Now I have to move these two columns from dimensions to measures. I have to move these two columns from dimensions to measures here. So there are two ways everything to do this thing, either through the drag and drop or by right click on this. Suppose now I want to move this from dimensions to measures. So select this, drag it and drop in the measures. Drop in the measures. Now see the order ID is moved here. And row ID, there is the other way also of doing this thing, dragging into the measures. Right click on the particular column, and if you see this, convert it to measure, convert it to continuous. Continuous means dimensions, convert it to measure means it will move here. Okay, right click on that, convert it to measure. If you click on it, so this particular column is moved here. Either you can simply drag drop here or right click on that, convert it to measure or convert it to continuous. So we can do this thing. So we can switch between these the dimensions and the measures as well. Okay.
Okay.
And if you observe, Tableau by default goes with the variable names like customer name, segment, priority, categories, container, name, subcategory. These are all the characters. But if you see the region also will be the character, but that is not the character, that is the geographical variable. Region, state, territory, zip. Okay, so these are all not only the character variables, these are the geographical variables, the regional. But here it is representing as a text, because region like will be RN1, RN2, RN3, like RA1, RS1, RS2. The states will be like this in US. Okay, so but here based on the text, it is treating it as a character variable, but exactly it is not the character variable. So if you want to change that particular data type from character to the geographical variable or whatever the variable it is, if you want to change that data type, right click on that particular column, change data type or the geographical variable. Okay, right click on that, on the geographical role, and see this, if it is an area code or if it is a MSA code or the city or the district or the country, region, country, state and the zip code. So which one it belongs to? Select that thing, the region. Now see here, it changed to the globe symbol. Before that, it is treating as a character. Now actually this is the geographical variable. Okay, and the beauty of the Tableau is there is always a chance of undo and redo. There is a chances of undo and redo also you can do here. Now you change this thing again. If you want to go a step back, click on this. Now the region has changed. Again, if you want to step back. Now see here, order ID has come here, row ID has come. Again redo, row ID should come here and the order ID. You see this, row ID, order ID has come here. Okay. So there is always a possibility of the undo and redo in Tableau.
So what is the
Okay.
difference now in the, it's a geographical variable and a character variable. How different is that in terms of what has to be done?
No, if you want to present the region in the maps and all, as there is a geographical variable, will present that in the maps.
Ah,
If it is a region, that is a text. Okay. So that is in the form of a text, RS1, RS2, these are the regions that we cannot present in the map. Okay, so the geographical variables to present in the map, okay, so that has to be in a geographical mode only. Okay.
okay.
Now, so these are the dimensions and the measures, and after that, like we'll see for the today's session, like we have covered these measures and dimensions, and we'll see what are these filters, the marks card, what are these columns and the rows, and what is this for the today's session. And from the next session onwards, like we'll proceed with like how to create a small maps, and how to create a bars charts, how to create a grouping, how to create a calculated field, how to create a parameters, how to create a more visual sheets, okay, and finally like how to create the dashboard. So all these things we'll see in the sequence like that. So for the today's session, like we'll cover with this particular particular shelves. We call these as the shelves. Okay, we'll cover these particular shelves for the today's session. Okay, Amit?
Okay. So have you worked in the server side of this Tableau, in administering and maintaining this server setup?
No, that's not our role, first of all. Okay, so ours is like the Tableau developer. So we do the development, we'll prepare the dashboard, and we'll publish the dashboard in the server. From the client side, they have their own server team. They will take care of everything because we are not as a server admin. Okay, so ours is a development role here.
So how difficult is it being in a Tableau server setting role? Is it like a lot of setup has to be done, security wise and all that stuff?
That's what, Amit, I'm telling. Any software has a development and the admin is there, so I am into the development team. So as an admin person, he knows like how many connections, whom to give what connections, what read access I have to give, what write access I have to give. Okay, so that server connectivity, everything is entirely the totally different thing. A total different person will handle that admin part or the server part. The development will be taken care by the entirely different person. In a company, like as you're telling, it's a small company, so you have to take care, but in all the organizations, there are separate departments will be there who goes on the Tableau development side. He will be working only on the development side. He will not be involved into the server side because that first of all, that he will not get show much interest towards that admin because he is more concentrated on his work and how to build more effective dashboards and how to create effective dashboards. As I said, like he will be learning, he will be always in a mode of learning the new things and implementing that in his report, or he'll come up with his own ideas and he will try to implement that. So as a developer more, he will always think like how can I make it more better, more better, more better. He'll be always in that particular line. They will not involve you also into the admin team because the admin is entirely the different team which will be taken care by someone.
Okay.
Okay. So now, if you see these we call it as the shelves, the column shelves, the row shelves. That means, so any of the column you can drag and drop in the columns, or any column you can drop in the rows. So based on that, it gives the result. Okay? We'll see what are those. But these are the columns and shelves where we can drag any of the dimension or the measures into the columns and the row shelves.
Okay.
Filters is like if you want, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Amit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Okay, fine. So this filters is like, if you see here, we have the product category. In this, we have the product subcategory. In this, we have the product name. All these three things you can put into one particular thing, and you can apply the filter on the thing here. We'll see how to apply the filters. As I said, like there are several states in the US, and I want to see each state by clicking on one thing. So I'll put a filter on those particular states. So when you click on the California state, it gives the sales for the California, and when you click on the sales for the New Jersey, it will give the sales only for the New Jersey. So those kind of filters we can do, and those particular columns, what are the column, on whichever the column you are applying the filter, those columns will populate here. And the marks card, if you see, we can give the colors for this, we can even size the color, size that particular text, and we can represent that in the text analytics. We can put this in the text, any of the particular customer product category, let's say the product content, whatever it is. If you just mention that in the text, it gives what particular observations are there in that particular variable name. Let's say if you just drag the product category into this thing, under the product category, I have the furniture, I have the office supplies, and I have the technology. What particular observations are there under that particular column? That particular information you can see here. There is a text there. Okay. And the detail and the tooltip. Okay. And so, and this particular place where we are going to drag whatever the columns we require in the row side as well as on the column shelf here. You can see here drop field here, drop field here, drop field here. So if you drop this on the column shelf,
so when you drag the product category there, what happened there?
Yeah. Let's say the product category. On the column shelf I drop, so these are the columns like furniture, office supplies, technologies. Product category wise, let's say you want to see the sales, how my sales was. Drag this sales into the row shelf. It will give this one. So that means furniture, office supplies, technology, these are the column shelf, and the sales I drop in the rows. If you see this 0 million, 1, 2 million, 3 million. So this is the row shelf here. And you can see the legend also, the sales, and on top of this, this is the product category.
And you drop the...
If you just put this product...
Previously you dropped the product category in that marks section, right?
For you to show you like how that label will be, so that's why I just mentioned the product category in the label. Okay, that is for the example. I just show you like how it will be if you drop any column in the label. Now this example, if you drop any column in the column shelf or in the row shelf, how the particular data looks is what I showed you in this example.
Okay.
Okay. So, and we can do a lot actually in this thing. And another beauty of the Tableau is the Show Me tab.
Yeah.
This will be like this. If you click on this, yeah, if you click on this, it will open, and if you again click on that, it will hide. Okay. Click on it, unhide, click on it, it will hide. Okay. So, suppose you want to present that in a graphical format, and you want to, based on, like, let's say, based on the category, based on the profit and the sales, you want to draw a graph. Based on these three columns, product category, select those three columns, profit and the sales. And you don't know like which particular graph is the best effective graph by using these three columns. Then select those three columns first and open the Show Me tab. And Show Me tab will show you what particular graphs you can build using these three columns. With using these three columns, which particular graph you can build. It will show, and among those, which is the best effective graph, that will be highlighted in the blue color. If you see this color, the highlighted one, this one, okay, it will also show which one is the best effective with these 3 columns for you to build a graph or a plot or a map, whatever it is here. Which one is the best effective thing? Okay, does not mean you have to go with this. If any of the highlighted one you can use for this particular 3 columns, any of the highlighted one, either you can use this bubble chart, pie charts, any of these things you can use, but the recommended one, this is the best effective of presenting these 3 columns in this particular scatter plots here. Okay, this is the beauty of the Tableau. Simply by clicking, even if you don't know which particular map to use, simply select those things, unhide the show me tab, it will show which is the best effective map for you to present, and you can directly click on it, it will present those things here. Okay. And it's like in the Excel, like initially it will be the sheet 1. If you want to add more than sheets, click on this thing, this is the icon. So sheet 2, again sheet 3, sheet 4, sheet 5, like this, multiple sheets you can add here. Okay. So these are the intro of this the Tableau, like about these shells, about. Okay, and one more thing, the marks. Here if you see, by default it will be the automatic here, and if you just click on this drill down, you can present this in any of these particular marks. If you want to show any of the graph in the line, you can present that in the line graph. If you want to present that any of the circle, you can click on the circle. If you want to present that in the pie chart, you can click on the pie chart. If you want to present that in the Gantt bar, we can. So each and everything has its own importance. We'll see all these things, but each and everything has its own importance. When you click on that, it will represent the data in that particular format, and by default it will be the automatic here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the intro of these things, and mainly this, we call it as the Tableau workspace. And you can also rename the sheet names. You can also rename the sheet names simply by double click on it. You can write something, the text, and you can do this thing. And you can color these tabs as well, simply by right clicking on it, color, and you can select any of these particular colors. So, tap here. Okay. Now, once the work is done, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So once this is done, let's say you are done with the today's work. So what you will do? We need to save it here. So how will save this Tableau workbook? Click on File, as usual, Save. Then, when it is asking for the save, we can save this in 2 things. One with the TWB and another one with the TWBX extension here. And always, we will save this Tableau workbook with the TWBX extension only. We'll always save this with the TWBX extension. If you see this is the normal Tableau workbook. TWB is the Tableau workbook. TWBX is the Tableau packaged workbook. So the difference is, if you save this with the .twbx extension, whenever you present this, whenever you share this particular Tableau report to the client, even he can see that with the data. Even if you connected through the line, okay, that Excel sheet is in your desktop, okay. But whenever client wants to change from his side, if you save that in the .twb extension, he can only view the report, but he cannot do any changes because the data is not there in that. But whereas in the packaged workbook, along with the data, this particular report will go to the client, and whatever the changes he wants to do, he can do it. He can do it. So always, while saving the Tableau thing, we'll always save in the .twbx extension here. With the twbx extension here. And you can select the path where you want to save this thing, or in any of the shared drive if you want, you can save this thing and give the file name and click save. And this is saved, and tomorrow when you come, you can directly open this particular saved Tableau version instead of the actual Tableau icon. You can save this particular Tableau workbook, and you can in the next work environment. Maybe in the next day you can work on it by opening this way.
Okay.
Okay. So yes. So Amit. So what we'll do is like we'll wind up the class for today. And before winding up, so do you have any questions?
Tell